the hat you got on.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Teamed up with the guys here at Duce Urban, and we've designed a cap, a player signature series cap, designed to help my grassroots footy connections in Wodonga Football Club, the Bulldogs back home, and yeah, the cap obviously represents the footy club, and part of the proceeds goes back to them and helping them raise some much needed money. Obviously, local footy clubs these days after ways to make money, and this is just another way we can sort of help out our grassroots footy, which is exciting.
Did you actually play a part in the actual design?
Yeah, the boys here are really good at the job they do, but the colours on the hat are my local team's colours, and I like to keep it pretty basic, just with the W and stuff like that, so I act like a designer, but I'm not really.
How did the partnership come about, Jack?
Through my management company, being able to get across and just sort of looking for different ideas and stuff and ways to help out the local footy club, and the boys had this idea designed, and they come across and presented it to me, and I was pretty excited to get on board and help out our local footy club, which is always good.
What colour would you call that?
It's maroon, isn't it? Burgundy.
Just decided to. I would have said magenta.
But Jack, this week obviously you got a great response last week. I think at 90-something tackles. You're confident you can replicate that this week against the Swans?
Yeah, I think so. It's a massive game for us this weekend against one of the contenders in Sydney. And our track record over the start of the season hasn't been great against the top side. So we're really keen to get out there and have a real dip against a quality opposition in Sydney, and make sure that we continue to focus on being consistent at football team and making sure that we come up with not just one win but try and make it 2 and 3 and go forward from there. So it's a big game and we're super excited about it.
After last year, did you circle it or is it just another game?
I think it's just another game, but at the same time we did get our pants pulled down by Sydney in the prelim, so that's definitely in the back of your mind. But at the same time, the two teams are a lot different with personnel and stuff like that, so we're going to have to go into the game on our toes and ready to go. Otherwise, Sydney are a great side and we know what they can do.
You feel good, as you said, you've struggled against the top sides this year, where last year was the complete opposite. Do you feel you've lost a bit of a respect as a side, given you haven't matched it with the big boys this year?
Potentially. I mean, the proof's in the pudding, and we've been beaten by 10 goals 3 times against really good teams, and that's not where we want to be as a footy club. So we're really excited the opportunity to get another crack at a top contender, in being the Sydney Swans on Saturday night, and we're putting all our energy into the training this week, making sure we get our preparation spot on, and gives us the best opportunity to try and get a good win and play consistent footy and try and get our season back on track.
Is there any rejuvenation just from Darren Crocker being on the scene now, a chance to freshen up under someone else for a change, or does that not play any part in changing on-field structures and whatnot?
Probably the structures and stuff like that don't change a whole lot because we play the way we play, but it gives everyone else, including Croc and the coaches and the players, a little bit more responsibility to step up when the coach isn't there. I think we got a great response last week from the boys, but making sure that, as I said before, we're not just a one-week team. We want to be a team that does it week in, week out. So against a quality opposition in Sydney, it's a big chance again to step up, all the players on the list and also the coaches, to make sure we can cover the loss of our coach and make sure we can get the job done.
Have the players had any communication with Brad this week, or is he still up on the couch?
He's still, I think, laid up on the couch. I think his operation went well and he's recovering well, and he'd be pretty frustrated, I think, having to watch a TV on broadcast vision and stuff like that. But the coaches were in constant contact with him, I think, throughout the game via text message, which would have been a little bit different. But I think Croc does a great job, as well as the coaches picking up the slack he's left and making sure that we get the job done.
Did you get many texts from the coach?
No, not really. No, I don't know if he knows how to text me anyway. But
was that really the extent of the communication methods via text message from couch to coach's box, was it?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think from Cameron Joyce was sitting next to Croc in the box. Obviously, Croc couldn't be looking down, texting whilst the game was going on. So, but yeah, I think Croc was obviously in control on game day with some instructions from Brad, and Joyce was just sort of getting the updates from what Brad was seeing on the couch.
I see your president said on Monday that you will be the club captain in years to come. How do you take that sort of talk? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's something that's obviously would be unbelievable to do, but at the same time, it's something I can't control. And at the moment, my focus lies this weekend against Sydney and making sure we get the result. And it's pretty important that we set a good example for our teammates and make sure that they follow what we want to do and get the job done. And as I said, it'd be unbelievable to do, to be a captain. But at the same time, it's something I can't control, and I've got to make sure that I control the things I can control, which is my performance, and that's something I need to keep working on.
Could it be as this? Sorry.
No, I was going to say the resilience. I suppose Sunday it looked like it could be going the wrong way late in the third term. The resilience you showed there. Was that discussed after the game, and can that be a turning point?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, I think it was a pretty windy day down in Hobart, so we didn't do a great job in the third quarter using the wind to our advantage, but we understood and we had a fair bit of belief at three-quarter time that if we played good footy in the last quarter, we'd get the win. And the boys did that. We played to our method, and we could score against the win, which was great. And I think it was a bit of a belief thing that we did believe, and we could turn it around a little bit with a bit of poor football in the third quarter that we didn't really use the win to our advantage.
Been pretty happy with himself this week after pulling the wool over the eyes of the Brownlow medalists?
Yeah, I think he pulled a little shifty and got the job done. But Boomer's an opportunist, and that's why we love him.
I'd say he wasn't well received in Perth. I mean, are you surprised at how angry people have got over there?
Absolutely. I mean, you think about it, if we're all competitors, we do anything to win. And if pulling the wool over someone's eyes and getting 50-metre penalty is something to go for, then geez, I'd do it as well. So absolutely.
And how's young Trent Jim on after he got hit by Ray Chamberlain on the weekend?
Yeah, I think he was a little bit rattled actually, Trent, after that. It was a pretty solid hit. But I think he's recovered well, and hopefully he hasn't got any ongoing concussion issues. But it's a bit unfortunate.
He's got a bit of stick though, hasn't he, surely?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, getting cleaned up by an umpire is not something to be proud of.
And just for yourself, obviously don't want to jinx you given the run you've had, but you've had a really good 4 or 5 week patch. Are you feeling as good about your footy as you had for a while?
Yeah, I think so. I think being out on the park for an extended period of time has helped that. And I've been working on my game a lot over the last few years. So I obviously got a lot of work to do as well. And it's a big game this weekend, and I can't wait to get out there and test myself and our midfield group and our team against one of the best midfield groups in the league and one of the best teams in the league as well. So it's going to be exciting.
Just heading to the halfway point of the season, are you about where you're expected to be at this time of the year, or do you see a spot higher up in the 8 perhaps beckoning for you guys?
Obviously, we would love to be in the top 8. Every team would be. And we've had some disappointing losses this year, which is becoming a driving force for us because we see ourselves as a top 8 team, definitely. And we're not there at the minute, so we've got a lot of work to do. And hopefully, over the next couple of weeks and in the second half of the year, we can sort of establish ourselves and put some solid performances together and become a lot more consistent.